So hello and welcome to my world. Today I will be making a recipe that I'm sure a lot of you will be interested in. It's the shortbread, as you can see, but I found out that the one they make here in America you get from the normal store is not like the one we have in Africa or you can get from the African store. I don't know why, but the one here is more buttery and softer. The one from the African store is harder and crumblier, or crumbles easily. Not easily, but you know, it has that what is it called? You always have it on your hand when you're done touching it. So we are just going to get right into it, and then I will show you how to make the African style shortbread cookies. Hello and welcome to my world. This is O.B. Martha. Today we will be making a recipe. Is actually shortbread, but it's the African shortbread, because when I came to America I realized that the shortbread we get to buy from the African store, or we used to buy in Nigeria, is not the same thing you get from the grocery stores here. So I decided to make a recipe. I've been making this recipe for years, but I've never actually come out to make one for my channel. So today I will be making the African shortbread. It's not really from Africa, it's just to differentiate it. And these are the things we need for our shortbread. The ingredients are butter. We need about 2 cups of butter. One of this is about half a cup of butter. So 4 of it is 2 cups, which is like 16 ounce, which is 1 pound of butter. Unsalted butter. I like using unsalted butter because salted butter has really done me in some recipes, because I cannot control the quantity of salt in the butter. So I like using unsalted so that I can add in my salt as I want. So we have 2 cups of butter, about 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1½ cup of cornstarch, 1 cup of rice flour, 1 cup of powdered sugar, confectionery sugar, icing sugar, whatever it is, it's just blended sugar, 1 cup of it, 1 teaspoon of salt, and my special ingredients is sweetened condensed milk. I will be using a tin, which is 14 ounce, 396 grams, or let's just say approximately 400 grams, but 396 grams, 1 tin, because I know that in Nigeria, in Africa, or in Nigeria, let me talk about where I know, the condensed milk we have normally comes in smaller cans. So you can basically use like 3 of that. And these are our ingredients. So before we start, we're going to mix in all the dry ingredients. All the dry ingredients except the salt. Mix everything in. And take out some quantity. It doesn't matter the quantity you take out, we're still going to use it some. And then we'll set aside. To a food processor, or you can cream your butter by hand. It's very easy and very simple. So you don't have to use a food processor. This is one of the easiest recipes I have seen. Once you get the hang of the ingredients, is really very easy. You can see our butter has increased in volume. To that, we're going to add the condensed milk. So now to this, I'm going to add 1/3. My salt first. Add my salt. And then add 1/3 of my flour in. Remember, we took out some here, so depending on the size of your food processor, I think I'm going to put this in here. You can actually use your hand to mix it in here if you want, but I just want to get it thicker before I use my fence. And then gradually you work in the remaining flour. So the texture is basically like the texture of moldable fufu or a play-doh. So I'm just gonna leave this to sit for like 10 minutes. I will allow it to sit for like 10 minutes, then I will get my pan ready. So to my tray, my baking, I'm going to be adding parchment paper. Now it's time to shape it up. I'm just going to roll it with a little parchment paper on top. So before I started shaping it out, I preheated my oven at 280 degrees Fahrenheit or 140 degrees centigrade. This is something that actually bakes on a lower temperature for longer, because if you bake it too fast, it's going to burn. So the temperature is very, very important. And we cut. So I'm gonna bake it at 280 degrees Fahrenheit for say 40 minutes. But before then, I'm still just gonna check on it before the 40 minutes it's up. So we bake. Now it's out of the oven. If you want to avoid this cracks on top, you have to chill it in the fridge for for an hour or two. I think that's even too much, like 30 minutes. But I know that when I used to make it in Nigeria, I don't have the fridge to chill it because there's hardly light. So once it starts browning from the sides, you can bring it out. It's ready. It smells so good. And then you cut through again when it's still hot. If you don't do it now, immediately you bring it out, it's gonna break up when it cools down, because it's going to harden. So we're just going to allow it to cool down, because you will not really get the final results when it's still hot. So we have to allow it to cool down. And then we do a taste test. It has cooled down. I actually allowed it to cool down on the pan. So we're just going to make a taste test. This is what it looks like. And it has that crunch. It has that crunch of your shortbread and the fullness in the mouth. So thank you for watching. I hope you try this recipe. Give it a thumbs up and tell us how it turns out. All right. Thank you so very, very much. Like, share, and subscribe. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, Martha's World, please do. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.